So the Elite was eating belts, and which, I mean, I never had that problem with the old one, even on some of our deepest pile carpets and some of the most difficult to clean. So that went back, and I went with something a little bit more reliable and about 5 times more expensive. So this is the Miele S2 Delphi. It's the entry-level Miele with a power head. The S2s overall are the entry-level Miele canister. They start at 300 for a floor tool, for one with just a floor and rug combination tool, and then they go up progressively from that. This is the entry level with the power head. It's got the 217-3 direct connect power head. The only difference between this and there's another model with a power head, it's called the Titan. The Titan's $100 more expensive. It's red. It comes with the same power head, a floor brush, which it's just the normal parquet brush, not the twister. That comes with it. This doesn't come with the floor head. It just comes with the 217. And the Titan uses a HEPA filter. This comes with the air clean filter, which filtration, I wanted something that filtered better and was actually more of a sealed system, but I don't need the HEPA filter. I just wanted something that wasn't going to be blowing dust all around. So the Super Air Clean's fine. It means I don't have to replace a $50, $60 filter every year. And the Super Air Clean comes free in a pack of 4 bags, which the bags are already $20. So it's not cheap by any means, but you're already spending $500 on the machine. It comes with this new fully stainless steel wand. It's not the brushed, or not brushed, it's not the gunmetal wand that the older S5s came with. Everything's going to be using that wand now. I tested out a dealer demo Callisto because that was originally, I intended on getting something out of the S5 series. The tool storage cover, the spring had been ripped out. There weren't any tools with it. The 228 was so abused that it barely ran, and I mean, it was not lightly abused. You could tell it had been heavily damaged. The other thing that I really didn't like was, on the S5, was I really did not like the handle, because right here on the S5's handle, it swivels. So you can't, if you want a better grip on something other than the actual hand grip, which I normally, even on the Kenmore, use like where the hose comes in and actually connects to the handle, because it gives a more substantial grip whenever I'm using attachments. So I like that a lot more. The 217, despite deep cleaning, not being able to really deep clean, it grooms extremely well and does really well with pet hair on all the carpets in this house. For deep cleaning, you still will need a 236 or the 228, which I'm going to be upgrading a little later on to the 236 power head for this. Overall, it's a really versatile vacuum. It's amazing. It cleans well. It's actually, despite this being the more cheap Miele, and they always say, you know, this uses cheaper plastic than the normal ones, it's heavier. You can tell the difference in quality. If you press on the bag cover of this, even if you're putting a substantial amount of weight on it, it does not flex or do anything of the sort or creak. Whereas my Kenmore, it creaks, it flexes. You can see it physically flex if you put any sort of weight on it. It's actually heavier. You can tell it's made out of better materials because despite being a little more than half the size of my Kenmore, as for the actual canister itself, it's heavier than my Kenmore. Just due to the really superior build quality of the machine. The attachments are decent. I mean, they're all basically the standard Miele attachments. You've got the upholstery brush with the opposed velvet or whatever that is, strips for pet hair. You've got the crevice tool. The only downside to this with the S2 is you get just the nylon bristle dusting brush. You don't get the natural horsehair one. It's not really that bad of a dusting brush. It still swivels and turns like the natural bristle one does, but it's $15 if you want to upgrade to the one with the horsehair. I mean, that's up to you. I probably will not. I'll probably get the bigger combination brush for, I think it's only 15 more, and that's natural horsehair, but it's bigger, it's more versatile. But overall, this is a great machine. It's really quiet. It's got really good suction. I don't know if it's the simpler design, the fact that it doesn't have to blow air through a HEPA filter, or the fact that the bag was just horridly clogged on the S5 demo that I used. But this does seem to have better suction than the S5 did. So I'm going to turn it on, and this is on the lowest setting. This is minimum. And then that's upholstery. That's for area rugs or lighter rugs. This is the highest. This setting gives you the most suction for the least noise. That's for more textured rugs. And this is maximum. This is for like your deep piled carpets, things like that. Overall, it cleans very well. The S2 does tend to be a little more tipsy in the front. You can tip it over. I have tipped mine over. But it rolls very well. I found it a lot nicer to use and to deal with than the S5 series. It rolls really easily. It's got Miele's normal 3 casters, 1 in the front, 2 in the back. Overall, it does really well. It cleans very well too. And I mean, let me show you this bag. These use the GN bag. I don't know if I've already said that. It can't really fully expand in there. There's not enough room. You could use the FJM bags if you want, because despite the fact that the bags being a different size and a different color, this collar that the bags slip into, it's all the same. They're the same on the FJM bags and the GN bags. The only difference between the two is the size. Overall, you've got the little seal there. It seals very well. It's already, I haven't had this for very long. I've only used it probably 3 or 4 times. The bag is already starting to get packed full with pet hair. You can see it's sealed really, really well around the edges. It's normally with paper bags, you'll start seeing right after the first use discoloration on the other side of this inlet where all the dust is coming in. There's none of that on this. Even on the packed, and I mean packed, bag that the S5 loaner had, it still did not look dusty or anything. It keeps the inside, the bag filters very well. You can tell that by the fact that the white plastic and the black plastic in the bag compartment is completely dust-free. There are a few little particles. What it actually is the cloth material that the bags are made out of. If you open up, say, something like my Kenmore, which I've always used the really good quality, high filtration Arm & Hammer HEPA bags, you can see clearly in there all the dust. The other good thing is you really can't rip these at all. Sorry about that. My camera stops automatically once a 10-minute clip has been recorded, which would have been perfect for the old YouTube, but now that we can upload upwards of 15 minutes, depending on your account setup, it's kind of a nuisance. But overall, with these bags, I mean, you cannot... I'm not going to be able to show you, but you cannot tear or rip these bags. You would have to purposely take scissors or a knife to them and cut them. They're not going to burst open. They're not going to tear. And people have been complaining a lot about the price of the Miele bags, because like I said, they're $20 for 4 bags, and then you get the pre-motor filter and the air clean filter. My problem with them arguing is, one, Miele genuine bags are of very high quality. Normally, when a manufacturer says use only our genuine bags or you'll void your warranty, it means nothing, because they're horrid quality bags. They're the same exact type of... They're designed exactly the same as any generic crap you would find in your grocery store. You're much better off using Arm & Hammer bags, which Eureka Products recommends using Arm & Hammer bags and filters. They recommend that because they own Arm & Hammer, at least the vacuum bag division, like the vacuum parts division of it. But they're higher quality. They work fairly well. Well, they actually work very well, but you get a quality out of the Miele bags that you don't get with other things. Plus, if you're not using the HEPA filter, the Super Air Clean filter that comes free in a pack of 4 bags normally costs, I think it was $11 for 1 filter. And then the pre-motor, I think, is around $5, something like that. So if you actually use the Super Air Clean filter with how well... I mean, the Super Air Clean filter on its own filters very, very well. I don't even think people with bad allergies would have that much of a problem with the Super Air Clean, because the main thing that makes Miele's filter so well is the design of the machine, not the filter that's in them. So, I mean, that's actually, in retrospect, that's a good deal. Plus, when you are spending, you know, at the very least $300 on the machine, don't bitch and complain about how much the bags cost. If you're going to go buy some very cheap sub $100 vacuum and deal with that. The other thing that I want to address is a lot of the reviews on Amazon, especially on the S2 Olympus, which is the entry-level S2. It's white just like this one, but doesn't have the electrified hose or wand or power head that this does. It just has a plain combo rug floor tool. And people sit there, this is my problem, people sit there and you can go and you can look at the reviews, and people do this a lot actually. And it's not just with the Miele's, it's with other suction-only canisters. They sit there and they bitch and they complain in the review about how it doesn't pick up pet hair off of their carpets. The vacuum was not designed... If it doesn't have a power head, when it's a canister, it's not meant to pick up pet hair. Do not buy it for a purpose it was not intended for, and complain about the product not doing a job that it was never built to do. If you have even one room full of carpeting, buy one with a power head. If you have pets and you have any sort of carpet or like even area rugs, buy one with a power head. Otherwise, it's not going to perform as well as you want it to, and it won't clean it up. Plus, all S2 series vacuums, regardless of what model it is, let me show you this. regardless of what S2 model it is, they are all capable of adapting later on to a powerhead. They all have, if you can see right there, there's a little port right here that you can plug the an electrified hose in. They all have this. Every S2, they are all capable of this. So if you want later, you can go and you can buy the electrified hose, the electrified wand, and the powerhead. But the problem is, especially, yes, you can upgrade later. That is a great thing. But if you think you will ever need to use one of these vacuums for carpeting, buy one with the powerhead. You cannot go wrong with that. It will always maintain your rugs and area rugs and everything else better than one without it. Plus, okay, think about it. The Olympus starts at, I think it's 300, and then it moves up to 400 for the, I forget the model name. It's the gray one with the turbo brush. And then it moves up to 500 for this Delphi here. So, 500 for that. So, even the turbo brush, even just if you have pet hair or carpets, low pile carpeting or area rugs, at least upgrade to the turbo brush. At least do that. But mainly go with the powerhead, because you're going to spend a minimal amount of money when you first buy the machine with the powerhead. If you go to upgrade later, it's $150 for this electrified hose. If the pricing's still correct, which I'm pretty sure it is. It's $150 for the hose, it's $150 for the wand setup, and it's $150 just for this 217-3 powerhead. It's $209 if you want to go up to the 228, and it's $260 if you want to upgrade to the 236. That's not including tax or shipping or anything else you pay when you order it. It's wise to, if you will ever need your vacuum, your Miele to clean carpet, get it with the powerhead. Overall, though, they are great machines if you know what you are getting when you buy one. They clean well, they are exceptionally quiet, they're maneuverable, they're very, very good vacuums. That's really about it. I mean, the other thing is people bash the build quality of the S2 all the time, especially collectors of vacuums and machines. They always bash it compared to the S4, the S6 line, or the S5s. But overall, they're still much better than anything else you'll find in stores. Like I said, my Kenmore was not a cheap model. I'm not exactly sure what it retailed for originally. I don't remember at this point. I think it was above $200. It still does not have the build quality of this very cheap Miele. The other thing I love about Miele's is the amazing cord rewind. You press it and it just goes. Even if there are if the cord's coiled up or it's tangled, not so severely that you have to like take time to undo it, but it zips up very quickly and drama-free, and they last for years too. So that's about it. This is my new Miele. Overall, I think it should last quite a few years. And that's about it.